Welcome to week 7 of our mini-series of frequently asked questions. So, like I mentioned, week 7.
Not many left?
No, only 3 left after this. Okay, right. So, why does it take so long?
Why does it take so long indeed? That is...
Story of our life. But
Yeah. There's not really a definitive answer, I guess.
No, I guess maybe the right idea for today and kind of how we'd normally explain it to people is kind of once you've viewed a house and had your offer negotiated and accepted, or on the sale side, if you've sold your house, and kind of start from that point of offer accepted.
That first part can take unknown amount of time. At least once the solicitors have been instructed and paperwork is sent out and they start communicating, that's I guess where we'll start from.
Yeah, let's start from there. I think that's perfect.
Because I think a point that always comes to our attention is, oh Darren, why does it take so long? Surely it's 2021, things can take a lot less time. You know, it's not like it was 30, 40 years ago, but some parts are, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's still the same in a sense, isn't it?
Maybe because a lot of the documents that solicitors need have to be the original copies. They can't just be scans, photocopies, bits and pieces sent through in that manner. Isn't good enough.
No.
So the post is still very necessary.
It's still vital, isn't it?
Yeah. But again, first of all, let's bring it back to
offer accepted.
Yeah.
What do you do first? So I think first step first is you need to instruct your solicitor on both sides of the sale and purchase.
Yeah.
Put money on account. Now that's very imperative, especially when you're buying a property, because you are going to pay for the local area searches then, and the additional searches as well. So that's what your money on account will go towards.
Yeah.
Once that money is on account, your solicitor will, or conveyancer, whatever you'd like to call them, they will start work for you. So
Yes.
I think it's really important to get that money on account, get the instruction paperwork all signed, sealed, delivered and paid for as soon as you possibly can.
Yeah.
So that'd be my first point, and that's really the first step of the process, I guess.
Yeah, one bit of advice as well for those that may not be aware is, especially when you're selling a property, a lot of your initial paperwork, your client instruction forms, can be done pre-sale agreed. Once your house is on the market, you can fill a lot of this stuff out already and kind of take a shortcut and miss,
I'd probably say a couple of weeks, maybe.
Yeah.
That would say,
a couple of weeks to start, certainly.
Really good point. And so obviously once that money's in account, the solicitors all kind of instructed. What's then going to happen is, from a purchase point of view, is your solicitor will then receive the contracts, title plans, bits and bobs like that from the other side. They're going to do a pretty thorough review on that just to make sure everything is there, the property or the land, whatever you are purchasing, is registered with land registry. That's probably a pretty quick process.
Yeah, that doesn't take too long. It's just sending over the initial draft contract of what the property is about.
Yeah.
If we use layman's terms.
Yeah, exactly.
The strenuous part that then begins afterwards is, as you mentioned, when the money's on the account to order your searches, they are applied for then and then. Now, there's a number of searches that are mandatory, shall we say, especially when you're needing a mortgage.
I was going to say, if you're getting a mortgage, you've got 3 that are kind of, you absolutely have to have. The mortgage company kind of, no, you've got to have them or you're not moving.
Yeah.
Local area search, environmental, and
water and drainage.
Yeah. So I'll tell you what, here's a question that probably we do get asked quite a bit. We won't throw it into the series, but I'll ask you as we're in it. What are searches?
Well, the local search almost does exactly what it says on the tin. It allows a solicitor to see what is going on in the local area of the property that you are purchasing, for any potential developments, any new builds going on, any changes in the infrastructure, i.e. train stations, anything that is going to be causing a change to the local area.
Yeah.
Now, these are the ones that take the longest. Over the past 18 months or so, some local authorities have been taking 6-7 weeks to get things done, because the supply has been, or demand has been so high, the amount of people working with furlough, etc., has been a lot lower. But they tend to take 3-4 weeks potentially anyway.
Give yourself 3 to 4 weeks on them.
Yeah.
Obviously, water and environmental searches are pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, they're very straightforward.
So we won't go into too much detail in them, but if you have got any questions about them, you can always get in touch with either of us and we'll happily talk you through them.
Exactly.
But in a timeline, they come pretty immediate compared to the local search anyway.
Definitely.
So I guess kind of after those searches are back, kind of probably what's going to happen after that is, again, your solicitor / conveyancer, they're going to review all of those searches in quite a bit of detail. Now that can take a little while. But
Depends on what comes up. Yeah.
Depends on what comes up, and then what they will do is then they will raise inquiries with the other side. Now, I think a lot of buyers and sellers, and we hear this line quite a lot from them, is, why is the buyer asking all these silly questions about this, that, and that? 9 times out of 10, it isn't actually your buyer or your seller who are asking these questions. It's actually the solicitor, and your buyer has no knowledge of them whatsoever.
Yeah, there are some silly ones that come up, shall we say.
Yeah.
The solicitors will need them answered regardless.
Yeah.
There can be some where there might be, if you've got an older property, there may be some covenants on the home to say that you can and can't do this. I think we had one in Dunstable a couple of years ago where they were just confirming that the property wasn't going to be used as a pottery factory.
Yeah.
And especially around here, when you look at mining with the chalk mines and things like that, that can still come up. Yes, it can be frustrating to hear that, but like you said, it's just appreciating the solicitor's got to do their job at the
I was
end of
going
the
to say, the solicitor's there to look out for your best interests at the end of the day, and that's what they're going to do. So, like I said, you will get frustrated and you will think, why are they asking these stupid questions? It's probably your buyer has no idea. So,
yeah, let them go on.
Kind of move on. And
yeah.
I guess for those of you who are getting a mortgage as well, it's provided you've instructed your solicitor, and just while I'm on this train of thought actually, provided you've sat down with a mortgage advisor, which we've discussed in the previous videos, and you've been upfront and honest with them, there's no kind of gremlins lurking, it's my opinion that you should instruct your solicitor at the same time as applying for your mortgage.
Yeah.
Not wait for the mortgage offer to come in and then apply for the solicitor, because you're gaining an additional, minimum 4 weeks there.
Yeah, and both things will run in parallel with each other. You'll have the legal side of things going through and your financial side.
Yeah. So I'd probably say it's at that point that, once your solicitor has kind of raised inquiries, then you should really be getting your mortgage offer through.
Yeah.
In and around that time.
You'd like to think so. If it's been done how you said, everybody wants it done as quick as possible at the end of the day. But if they can both run in conjunction with each other, then there's no reason why it shouldn't, because otherwise you'll get to a point where the solicitors will put their pen and paper down and say, well, I haven't got the mortgage offer.
Yes, brakes on, they're not going to do anything after that.
Because... And that's where you might get put to the side and, hey-ho, someone that is a bit more advanced or got everything in line a bit quicker.
Yeah. Give a take, channel, there you go.
Yeah, exactly.
But, it's at that point as well that obviously your solicitor's going to review the mortgage offer, make sure there's any, what's the right word, some mortgage companies will insist on that mortgage offer that you have to do this or you have to do that.
Well, it's an offer at the end of the day, isn't it? It's guaranteed, to go in line with things that have to be done. It's only if certain things are in the right way, and hence why you have, surveys and things like that.
Yeah. I think that's another one that we're going to talk about in
exactly
in the next 3 weeks, that's for sure.
Yeah. But no, that gives enough time, like I said, Dave, to get everything done. And in the meantime, the searches should be almost back. Certainly, as we said, the first a couple of them, the water and drainage and environmental, are very straightforward. Yeah. The local search should be back by now. Yeah. And then any kind of additional inquiries on those.
And again, like I said, your next step, mortgage offer. And then you'd like to think that inquiries are answered. Like I said, solicitors will deal with them amongst themselves. They may come back to you if you're selling the property and ask for your input on any of these questions.
Yeah. Could be a few bits to do with extensions, any certificates on the house.
Exactly, it could be anything really. But again, you as the buyer of a property, you will have the opportunity to ask any questions as well. Just fire them across to your solicitor or your agent, and either of them should be happy to help. I guess once those replies are out, your solicitor kind of what we would class in the industry as reports to you.
Yeah, it's the full roundup of what you've heard so far. That makes it sound a bit repetitive, but it's collating everything and saying this is what's been done so far, this is everything here, just to confirm you're kind of happy with that. If there are any bits that are still outstanding, any replies to inquiries may not be satisfactory. There may be some potential Ways to overcome that is when you hear things like an indemnity policy. That could be something to just
Very popular.
bypass any
Lack
issues
or issues.
Yeah, anything that could be like that is very, very
I
common.
do come across it a fair bit, you know, where a lot of people, they're friends in the trade. You know, you've got a friend round to come do your windows or something. But
Yeah.
They haven't supplied a fencer certificate.
Yeah.
You've got no record that the windows are done, but, you know, again, you can take out an indemnity insurance policy against that
And cover it.
It's all good.
Yeah, and like I said, once that is all done, it's just about confirming your completion date.
Yeah.
Between the chain, if there's just the two of you, i.e. if you're not selling a property to purchase one that is end of chain, happy days.
Yeah.
If there is a more lengthy chain, it can just be speaking to the agents and the solicitors, or sorry, the parties involved, to say, we're going for the 6th of December.
Yeah.
Is that okay with everyone? Get verbal and written confirmation to your solicitor.
Yeah.
Once that's been agreed, deposits get sent over.
Yeah.
And the exchange of contracts
Exchange of
happens.
contracts,
And that's when, obviously, we all know
Legally
you
binding.
can pop the champagne open and,
Yeah.
and celebrate.
Absolutely. So, I know again it's been a bit of a long video, but again, it's one of those where we could really go into so much more detail.
Well, you could, and I think the irony is with the question being why does it take so long, you can see a tiny
What's going to say, you can kind of
what's going
see why, but we've kind of covered it in 6-7 minutes, however long this video is.
Yeah.
We may have made it sound a little bit too straightforward.
Yeah.
But that's the general process. But, you know, as we've probably said in past videos, have a good relationship with your solicitor, have a good relationship with your mortgage advisor,
Yeah.
good relationship with your estate agent as well, everybody pushing in the same direction. It should get you to that magical exchange sooner rather than later. hopefully.
Yeah, and fingers crossed, relatively
Straightforward, yeah, stress-free, that's the key bit.
Exactly.
Okay, cool. So yeah, as we always say, any comments, any questions, feel free to give either us a quick call and email, comment below, comment on YouTube, whatever you need. We'll do our best to come back to you within a decent time frame on that, and on to week 8 next week, I guess.
Yeah, like I say, only 3 left,
Yeah.
so we'll see what's in there. We've got an idea of
Well, we know what's in there, it's just what
what comes up next.
So, we'll see you soon.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.